Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So sister, the shit that happens to your life is the shit that happens to your life, but can you be a ninja when the shit goes down? So what does this mean and how does that look? Well, listen, you can plan your day so that everything is in order. You can be so clear on what you want. You can know so deeply what that why is to why you're doing things. And you can be so committed to taking action, and you actually do. And then life will deliver you curveballs. The shit that you don't expect. The outcomes that you weren't looking for. The person that got dropped into your life that you didn't expect to get dropped into your life. The circumstance that's just, it's like, wait a second, I didn't plan it this way. But that stuff's gonna come up. So ninja, being a ninja, two ways. Number one, what I just mentioned before, sister, like clarity, right? Like just really clearly knowing what you want. And that's gonna evolve and adapt and change over time as you evolve and adapt and change. It's gonna be a question you continually ask yourself and experiences throughout your day. What do I want out of the situation? So I had a conversation with my husband this morning, and he has some people in the online space. My husband is, like myself, retired chiropractor, and he has really discovered a way to be able to help chiropractors and other health professionals and other professionals. He has realtors and cardiologists, and to be able to really like take a message and move it outside of the brick and mortar of the four walls of their office. We'll be able to take this into the online space, and he does it so well. So, because what Ed is doing, especially in the chiropractic space, is so like nobody's doing this, right? There's a lot of imitators coming out. There's a lot of people like literally taking the words that he writes and putting it onto their emails. The languaging, like the way it's set out, like copying, plagiarizing. What when I grew up would be considered plagiarism. And in the world of online media and the internet, people just think they can just borrow shit and somehow that's fine, but that's still plagiarism. And so what I said to Ed, and he's just kind of mad about it, I'm like, okay, well, what do you want? What's the outcome that you're looking for? There's different ways that you can handle this as it comes up. But clarity on what you want, knowing why it matters, being committed to taking action on the things you need to do to get what you want no matter what, that's ninja step number one. But here's ninja step number two. Have you seen the movie The Karate Kid? I don't mean the Jaden Smith one, Will Smith's boy. I mean like the OG Karate Kid with Ralph Macchio. If you are over the age of 45, you know this movie. You probably remember it when it came out. And the Karate Kid, Ralph Macchio's character, had a sensei, a teacher called Mr. Miyagi. And Mr. Miyagi was teaching him skills about karate before he even really understood it. And he came to him and just said, and I think this is from I remember from the movie from years ago, is like, I want to really learn from you. And he goes, fine, go wax my car. Wax on, wax off. And he didn't understand what he was doing. Now, what he was teaching him is actually how to block, right? Wax on, wax off is how to block, how to deflect, how to, counter the forces, the circumstances, the situations, the people that come your way that do not fit in with what you want. And this step number two, sister, is the true meaning of really being a ninja. It's being able to wax on, wax off. It's being able to, when the shit comes up, you stay in a place of calm. You're grounded in what you want. You make decisions from that place. You can make it from anger, but you don't make it from scarcity. You don't make it from like a fear place. You don't make it, it's not based on revenge. Like there's none of that stuff, right? Jealousy. It's based on clarity on what you want. And you adapt. one of the best skills you can have as a human being, as a woman who wants more sister, is you have to learn how to adapt. Wax on, wax off. Be a fucking ninja. When I was in practice and we would educate our patients from day 1 to day 1001, the education was ongoing. And we talked about and explained to our patients and made them help them to really see that when your nervous system, the system in your body that controls and regulates every single organ, tissue, cell, everything, that when that is firing properly, when there is clear communication between your brain and your body to allow your nervous system to express itself fully, you can adapt better. And that is the key. Adaptation. Adaptation, right? How do you evolve? What happens when things are thrown your way that you don't expect? Can you adapt? Can you duck? In my boxing terms, as I box now, can you bob and weave? Can you roll under that punch coming your way? Like, can you adapt? So to be a ninja, like that skill of adaptation is crucial. It's crucial. Because listen, it's cool to be awesome when everything's awesome, right? It's crucial. You know, I look back on the lifetime my husband and I have had together so far, 24 and a half years, it'll be 25 like later this year. We've been together, crazy. Met in a bar in 1992. Insane at times just to kind of realize that much time has passed. Been married for almost 17. We've been through a lot of shit. A lot of shit. And I'm not going to go, if you've listened to the podcast for a while, I've shared some things that have come up in our life and continue to come up. And this isn't about like, oh my God, that must have been so hard. And everyone has their shit, right? But the biggest thing that's really allowed us to go through is we didn't choose victim. We didn't choose, why is this happening for any length of time? We didn't choose life is unfair. We chose to adapt. So coming back to the conversation of what my husband does now with his business, he adapted. He adapted. He was diagnosed with Crohn's disease in 2009. And a year or two later had emergency surgery. And he was out of the practice for, like 5-6 months recovering. Then he came back into the practice part-time. Then it would make him really sick again. So then he went out of the practice. We did this a couple times. We just said honey, this is not working. I know, we're trying to find a way to make this work for you to remain in practice, to be able to lay your hands on patients and help their body to heal. You can't do the thing that you went to school for. I went to school for, right? And that was really difficult. So Ed was told by his specialist, you know what, you're getting disability, you can just, you just probably shouldn't work. She told me this, you should not be working. Ed is self-aware enough to really know who he is, and he's a producer, he's a creator. It's I can't just sit. That will actually make me more sick. So he adapted, he found a way. And he didn't know what that was at first. But he was patient in finding out that path. So we created a podcast called Chiropractic Philanthropist and said, you know what? Let me interview chiropractors. Let me find out what's worked for them in practice and what hasn't worked. Get them on the podcast. Share this with chiropractors from around the world. And I'm going to help chiropractic in that way. If I can't help hands-on with my patients, this was the way that Ed adapted. And it's created this amazing business that keeps evolving and adapting. When again, the imitators, let's just call them like they are, the fucking stealing motherfuckers who are trying to do what Ed is doing, which is awesome. Imitation is the best form of flattery, blah, blah, blah. No, these fuckers are actually stealing his words. Let's just be true about it. Let's just be real about it. Right? There's imitation, then there's theft. It's plagiarism. So what is that doing? It's adapting. He had a post out recently saying, innovate faster than your competitors can imitate. He's innovating, he's adapting, he's changing. He's becoming better, he's finding new. He's adapting. My husband, who I'm so proud of every single fucking day, love so deeply, teaches me the most about being a ninja. I love you, baby, for listening to this podcast, which I don't think you are because you're too busy being a fucking ninja. I get it. Adapt, sister. So how do you adapt? Like, how do you get to this place? Well, let's first talk about your more tip. Your more tip for today is this. I want you to journal for the next 15 minutes. Take out your journal like right now. Finish the podcast, listen to the journal, or open up your journal and start writing. And just right at the top, I want you to write, I need to better, let me rephrase that. I choose to better adapt in my life by, and then just write what comes to you. Where can you choose to better adapt? What area of your life is that? How can you do that? What are some ideas to do it? Why does it matter to you to be able to adapt and be a ninja this way, to be able to wax on and wax off? And here's step number 2. Join the sisterhood. I created this about 3 months ago. I created this because there were so many of you that said, hey, Karen, I love what you do. I want to coach with you, but like, I don't have $5,000. I can't do this. And I was like, okay, fine, then you're out. Like, I get it. There's the podcast. You have free and you have $5,000. Pick. And I realized that I was blowing a lot of women out of the water that, really want to invest. They aren't at that level. They maybe never will be, and that's totally fine. So I created the Sisterhood as a monthly program of a closed Facebook group, daily sisterhood tip, women just like you, committed to powering their lives, committed to being able to learn how to adapt, how to become a fucking ninja at this life of more. In a group, right? So you have the accountability of the women who are like you. You will see that you are not all alone in this path, in this journey. Association is everything. And you have access to me as a powerful coach to really lead you. So we do daily sisterhood tips where you can pop on the Facebook page each day to be able to read those, and a weekly Facebook Live. So some of the things that I talk about here in the podcast, we dive deep and you get to access me live time. In addition, there's now actually doing a monthly Q&A with me. Actually, we're having that next week. Discounts on upcoming programs, my live events, like sisterhood. Here's the coolest thing. You get to come in for 7 days for free. I don't care. Try it out. Day 7, go, Karen, you suck. Take me out of here. And we'll be done. No questions asked. 7 days free. There's no excuse. So here's what you need to do, sister. Go to drkarenosborn.com/sisterhood. I will also have the clickable link in the show notes. It'll take you into a video you can watch, enter your name and email, go to the next page, click on one of the orange buttons, and you are in. Enter your credit card information. It's not going to be billed until day 8. But I'm telling you, there's very few women that opt out because they come in, they see the value, they start getting results right away for those that do what I teach and that do the work. So that's over at drkarenosborn.com/sisterhood. And even deeper into this is my 1-1-2 More live event. As I record this, it is how many days did I forget it was? 32 days away is 1-1-2 More live here in beautiful Victoria, BC, Canada. I'm recording this podcast right now outside of my home. Gorgeous day. I don't know if you can hear the birds in the background. We're going to jam for 1 day. There's going to be actually, I went from 150 to say, you know what? I want to make this actually really small. I want to make this 50 women. I want it very intimate, the experience, for you at the end of that to get clear on here's what I want. Here's why it matters. Here's what I'm going to commit to doing. And here's a plan I'm going to leave with, knowing how to adapt to the shit that's going to come up when I go back into quote unquote regular life. And get the things that you truly want within your life, sister. A life of more. That's why you're here, right? That's why you're listening to the podcast. So that's over at drkarenosborn.com/live. As I record this, there are currently 28 tickets left. That's it. I'm capping it at 50 right now. So, sister, 2 steps. Sisterhood. 1-1-2 More live. Get your ticket. And then you and I get to connect face to face. Live event is powerful. Podcast, awesome. Sisterhood, next level. The 1-1-2 More live, the 1-day event, 10 levels up. It is a fast track to you learning this and getting the things that you truly want within your life. So I will talk the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from me doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.